Below the hall, Chahao was chatting with the disciples. With his accomplishments in cultivation and the trust of his masters, coupled with his eloquence, laughter filled the air as Chahao shared a joke. His gaze unintentionally fell on Tianyin, who had been standing behind Su Yu the whole time. Then he noticed the amber silk tied around her waist. He smiled. Could this be the famous Tianyin, Master Tian's younger sister? Tianyin raised her eyebrows. How do you know me? Chahao smiled faintly, took a few steps forward, and looked at her, saying, Tia junior sister, at the age of 16, your achievements in the Taiji profound clear path are widely known in the sect. I have long admired you. Seeing you today, your reputation is well deserved. Blushing, Tianyin replied coyly, you haven't seen me in action. How can you be sure I live up to my reputation? Chahao was momentarily stunned, then he smiled. Tia junior sister not only has a beautiful appearance, but also sharp insight. It makes me, as your senior brother, feel ashamed. Tianyin felt a rush of sweetness as she looked at the tall and handsome figure before her. Despite his praise for her beauty, she scolded, you're just talking nonsense. What senior brother? Shameless. Tia Bai furrowed his brows, and Su Yu admonished, linger, don't talk nonsense. Chahao hurriedly said to Su Yu, and Su, please don't blame junior sister. It's my fault for speaking out of turn and offending her. As he spoke, he hesitated for a moment, then took out a small brocade box from his pocket and handed it to Tianyin. Smiling, Tia junior sister, this cooling pearl in the box was obtained by me and Master Kingsong, where we eradicated a group of demonic cultists a few years ago. Although it's not a rare treasure, it can alleviate heat and fever when carried around. Today, I offer it to junior sister as a token of apology. Tianyin blushed and hadn't spoken yet when Su Yu intervened. Nephew Che, the cooling pearl is also considered a treasure. Linger can't afford it. Please, put it away quickly. Chahao smiled, and Su, you don't know that the cooling pearl is of little use to me. It's as useless as a chicken rib. But junior sister is young and beautiful, and it happens to suit her. It's just a small token of my apology. I hope junior sister won't dislike it. Tianyin looked at Chahao, her expression much softer. She reached out and took the small box, whispering, thank you, brother Che. Chahao seemed extremely pleased, his face beaming. No need to thank me, junior sister. Your talent is extraordinary, and your future is limitless. Although Qingyun Sect has many talented individuals, there are few with your aptitude. I truly admire you. Tia Bai's ears perked up, and a smile appeared on his face for the first time. Tianyin said, senior brother, you're too kind. Chahao shook his head. No, I was also taken up the mountain by my master since I was young, but my cultivation at your age was much inferior to yours. However, double quotes. Tianyin, being a young girl, felt a strong liking towards Chahao as she listened to his praise. But when he added the word however, she couldn't help but ask, however, what? At this moment, even Tia Bai and Su Yu turned their heads, wanting to know what Chahao meant by however. Chahao said, however, in terms of aptitude alone, there is someone who can rival junior sister Tia. Tianyin was startled. Who? Chahao smiled and pointed outside the quiet hall. It's my junior brother, Lin. Since he was taken in by Master Kingsong 3 years ago, his progress has been astonishing. He's a rare talent in the cultivation world, surpassing all disciples of our sect. In just 3 years, he broke through to the 4th level of the Yuking realm, a feat unheard of in 1,000 years. Master speaks highly of him, comparing him to Master Qinji of the past. A crack, a crisp sound startled everyone. They turned to see Tia Bai, his face dark as iron, as he broke a piece off the hard sandalwood armrest. Chahao was taken aback and whispered to Su Yu, Senior Su, did I say something wrong? Su Yu forced a smile and was about to reply when suddenly a loud shout came from outside the hall. Oh no! Before anyone could react, they saw a figure tumble into the hall, landing with a thud and rolling backwards several times, ending up covered in dirt. Who else but Zhang Xiaofan? The disciples of the Great Bamboo Peak were all shocked. Tianyin, being close to Zhang Xiaofan, rushed forward and helped him up, asking anxiously, "Xiaofan, what happened to you?" Although Zhang Xiaofan had taken a heavy fall and was still a little dizzy, he insisted, "It's nothing, I'm fine." At that moment, Lin Jingyu rushed in from outside, looking anxious. "Xiaofan, are you alright? I lost control for a moment." Pialinger realized that it was this person who had bullied her junior brother. Filled with anger, especially after Chahao's praise of Lin Jingyu earlier, implying that she couldn't compare to him, she felt extremely uncomfortable. Without further thought, she stood up angrily and said, "Who gave you the right to bully others?" With a flick of her fingers, a dazzling light flashed, and the amber silk ribbon flew out, heading straight for Lin Jingyu. "So are you?" and Chahao both shouted, "Stop!" But the amber silk ribbon was as fast as lightning, reaching Lin Jingyu in an instant. Although Lin Jingyu was surprised, he didn't panic. He pointed to the sky with his left hand, held his sword gesture with his right hand, and shouted, "Rise!" A resounding dragon roar filled the quiet hall as Lin Jingyu's body was enveloped in a green light. A dazzling green sword, emitting a clear autumn water-like radiance, appeared with an unstoppable momentum. It not only resisted the amber silk ribbon's fierce light, but also turned everyone's faces in the hall into a shade of green. Chia Bai snorted coldly. King Sung is indeed generous, even passing on the dragon-slaying sword to him. Seeing that Lin Jingyu was unharmed, Chahao relaxed and smiled. Master once said that junior brother has extraordinary talent and will become a great figure. Therefore, focusing on nurturing him is only natural. Tia Bai's expression became even more unpleasant. At that moment, the amber silk ribbon and the dragon-slaying sword were deadlocked. However, they suddenly heard a piercing sizzle, and a gap appeared in the layers of red ribbons, revealing a hint of green light. Tia Bai and Suru's expressions changed simultaneously. Roar. A deafening roar, like an angry dragon, shook the heavens. In an instant, the gap widened 100-fold, and the green light surged forth, breaking through the ribbons. Lin Jingyu's body and submerged into one, transforming into a dragon, like an arrow leaving the bow, charging towards Tialinger. Everyone was horrified, but Tialinger, though surprised, remained calm. She quickly formed hand seals, drawing a Tai Chi diagram in the air. In a moment, the layers of red ribbons returned to shield her, forming countless barriers. The sound of shattering continued as Lin Jingyu's dragon-slaying sword pierced through layer after layer of the red ribbons. Although its momentum slowed slightly, its unstoppable force remained undiminished. It seemed that the outcome between the two was about to be decided. Zhang. A wave of coldness passed by, and the dragon-slaying sword was repelled like scattered leaves. Rebounding, Lin Jingyu was shocked and looked up, only to see that a wall of ice had formed. It couldn't break through the ice wall. Chahao, who had somehow appeared beside him, pulled him back a yard. On the other side, Tialinger looked pale, but Su Ryu had already rushed up and pulled her into her arms. Retreating to Tia Bai's side, in the quiet hall, silence fell.